What is up guys, Dr. Root 7 signing in. This video is going to be an explanation video about one of my all-time favorite video games. A game which I, during my teenage years, fell in love with. To be quite honest, this was a game that actually got me into deep free world exploration and factions and NPCs. With the sequel to this cult classic game just getting announced for the Xbox and PC, I had to make a video about it, not just to pay my respect and love, but also to explain to those who are new to the world of Stalker. By now, the whole world knows about this game, but before this, there were 3 parts that were released exclusively for the PC. Those golden days of PC games, when the bottom scraping, window licking masturbates didn't exist as much as they do now. Anyways, before I start, you guys need to know 2 things: the zone and Strelok. Okay? These 2 words are the most important part in the whole series. It's like Adam and Eve. The world exists around them, but not without one another. That just didn't make sense, did it? But it did, in a way. You got the idea. So everything revolves around the zone, and the story revolves around Strelok. In Shadow of Chernobyl, the player wakes up in an amnesiac state in a local black market trader's bunker who gnaws the hell out of a mutated chicken leg, or just a normal chicken. Boy, it just always makes me hungry when I look at that scene. The trader, who is also known as Sidorovich, names you the Marked One. You only have 2 things in your possession: your PDA with the entry "Kill Strelok" and on your hand a tattoo marked Stalker. You start running errands for Sidorovich, which brings you closer to Strelok's possible location. Now this is where you start getting into the story, as it brings you deeper into the zone and learn that Strelok has a team while getting flashbacks of your lost memory. The zone is basically an entity in this game which actually protects the area within from the outside world. More into that later. To progress further into the zone, you must disable a device known as the Miracle Machine. A man-made machine that turns people into zombies. No, Negan, you're not badass enough to be a part of this world. Sorry. Now, back to the story. While disabling the device, you meet Doc, a member of Strelok's team who tells you about an artifact named Wish Granter, sought after by all the factions but is protected by a group known as Monoliths. These guys are weird, like Dead Space, like weird, man. The Doc also tells you another thing. You, the Marked One, is in fact Strelok himself. Talk about a big surprise, right? You find out that the location of the artifact is in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Also, a second larger miracle machine named the Brain Scorcher blocks the path to Pripyat. After disabling the device, you basically open access to everyone to the plant, which makes Pripyat a war zone, as it's a way through to the plant. Okay, now we have delved quite deep into the zone. Please keep in check the status of your radiation suits, because things are gonna get messy and radioactive. As the implied Strelok, the player has to fight off the military and the monoliths and make his way into the sarcophagus, where the player discovers the Wish Granter and a secret laboratory where an entity known as C consciousness resides. Yeah, there's a lot of consciousness, lots of shits that are going on, but it kind of makes sense once you reach this end of the story. The entity confirms that you're Strelok and explains the zone and its history. After the Chernobyl disaster, the Soviet Union used the zone for research into the human mind, which resulted in the development of ESP, extrasensory perception, and psychic weapons. 7 scientists neurally linked their minds, creating the hive mind known as the C consciousness. See, I told you. Everything has an explanation and everything will fall in place. After the fall of Soviet Union, C consciousness took control over the zone, which brings to that part that I've mentioned before, why I have told that the zone is like an entity. The hive mind then tried to create world peace through global mind control, but it failed and caused the anomalies, which are one of the most painful and wonderful parts of the game. But trust me guys, you just don't want to get in touch with one of these. And also warping the reality of the zone. To protect itself, the entity created Brain Scorchers and Wish Granter. The Wish Granter brainwashes the ones who reaches it by turning them into monolith soldiers. So this is where the game gives the player a choice to either merge with the hive mind or go against it. If the player goes against the offer, the hive mind teleports him, and then he would have to fight through an army of monoliths, mutants, and navigate through anomalies to reach the hive mind, and then shoot the capsules holding the scientists, thus killing the hive mind in the process. The ending scene is with Strelok standing in a grassy field, watching the sky begin to clear, questioning his decision as he lies down in the grass, thanking to have survived. This concludes the storyline of Shadow of Chernobyl. Believe me guys, the world of Chernobyl is huge and there is a lot of things to do. I just condensed the whole story in a 10-minute video, but it's a whole different experience when you play the game yourself. I will come back with part 2 of this 3-part video, hopefully as soon as possible. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this, please show your love and support by liking and subscribing. That's gonna mean a lot to me. Until next time, Dr. Root 7 signing off. Peace.